directly go to subject. What we have covered in our last session. MongoDB Atlas. So basically, you have to create a MongoDB Atlas account, then you have to create organization, then projects, then cluster, then do whatever you want. Okay. Today we are going to work on. We are going to start working on Redux. Very important topic. Redux. What is Redux? Yes. What is context? What is it? I'll tell you the situation, then I'll give you the answer. Now, I have app.js, which is our component, initial component. In that, I have created a component called A. Can I use A component in app.js? Yes or no? Then inside this A, I have created another component called B. Inside this, I have created another component called C. Inside this, I have created another component called D. Okay, and at the same time, there is a one more component called J. Inside J has another component called K. Inside that another component called L. Inside that another component called M. Inside that another component called N. I can have a component inside another component. Yes or no? So any levels, any number of levels we can do it. Now the point is, I wanted to send some data from this component to this component. I wanted to send some data from D to N. If I wanted to pass from A to D, for example, through props I can pass. From A through props I will pass to B. Can be done or not? From B I will pass it to C. From C I will pass it to D. Not a big deal. A to B, B to C, C to D, I will pass it through props, top to bottom. And if J wanted to pass it to N, J to K, K to L, L to M, M to N, I will pass it. Can be done. Now I wanted to pass from D to N. How do I do that? Props can be useful from passing from top to bottom. Bottom to top also you can set. Props, top to bottom also you can set. Bottom to top also you can set. Now if I wanted to pass from D to N, what I have to do? I have to go from D to C, C to B, B to A to app, app to J, J to K, K to L, M, N. Like this I have to do it. Easy or complicated? Complicated way. Understanding? So basically, what is Redux? Redux simplifies data passing between components. The easiest way. Redux is a third-party package. It simplifies passing data between components. Any component to any component you can send, no problem. Any component to any component you can send, no problem. See, probably you may not know, if I wanted to call to Mysore from here, for example, long ago, I have to make a call to local, what do you say, local telecom. I have to call it, and I have to tell trunk call. I have to trunk call. By this evening, by 6 o'clock, I wanted to make a call to these people. Then if they are free, if they are government employees, if they respond well, then they'll make a call to you and they'll make a call to them, then they will connect it. It's like group calling, long back. Then if you wanted to make a call, you can directly make STD call. Just to type the STD code and call. After mobiles came, no need of STD cards. Probably you may not know your your town STD code. You may not know. I know because I have used it. You may not know. But now, whether the person is anywhere in the world, I can make a single tap WhatsApp call. Understanding? So first trunk call, then STD, then the simplified is mobile, then the simplified is WhatsApp. Now, if I wanted to make a call to a person in Singapore, I have to type that Singapore country code, then mobile number, and all those things. Now, WhatsApp, nothing. Video call also, it is easy. So, simplified. So, Redux also the same thing. Basically, WhatsApp simplified calling. You can make audio call, video call, or chat. You can send files, receive files, send videos, receive videos, audio, video, anything. They simplified it basically. WhatsApp. Here also the same. Redux is a third-party library which simplified data passing between components. Simplified data passing between components. Got it right? Complicated. What is their approach basically? How Redux has simplified it? It's like this. They create an object called store. Imagine they create an object called store. Create an object called store. Now D wanted to send it to N. Normally, what we are doing B to C, C to B, B to A, A to F, F to J, J to K, K to L, K to L, like that we are doing it. But Redux is not like that. D will directly send it to store. D will directly send it to store. N receive from store. That's it. Easy or not? Instead of going so many levels up and so many levels coming down, they'll create one common object. Whoever wanted to send it to store. Whoever wanted to receive it, receive from store. Now, if you wanted to pass from D to B, for example, D to C, C to B, Y send to store, B receive from store. Easy. Or B to D, you can pass through props also. B to C, C to D. Y from B you send to store, D receive from store. Got my point? Store is like a satellite. Now, if I make a call to you, it reaches to satellite and satellite to you. Giving an example. So, store is useful for receiving or sending. Any component wanted to send to store. Any component wanted to receive from store. This simplified Redux is a library, is a third-party library, simplified data passing between components using this approach. Got it? Any complications here? Okay, now we'll be doing a bit productive. Now this store is actually a JavaScript object. This store is actually a JavaScript object. You know that we can create JavaScript object. This store is actually JavaScript object. Okay. If we wanted to use Redux, we have to follow its rules. If we wanted to use Redux, we have to follow its rules. Now imagine if you join in a company, you have to follow company rules. Now the company says you have to be here maximum by 10 o'clock. If you go by 1 o'clock, they may not accept. If you join in a company, you have to follow its rules in the same way. In the same way, if you wanted to use Redux, you have to follow its rules. You have to follow its rules. What are those rules? First of all, we have to create store. We have to create store. That is a simple JavaScript object. Simple JavaScript object. But whatever you wanted to send, we will send it to store. Which are the component wanted to receive from store. Yes or no? But if we go a bit to detail into it, store is something we should not touch it directly. If you wanted to add something to store, you can, but not directly. If you wanted to get something from store, you can, but not directly. Not directly. What? How do we do that? If you wanted to send it to store, there is a method called use dispatch. What? Use dispatch. Use dispatch is a method which is useful to send it to store. If you wanted to send it to store, not directly. You have to send it. You have to use dispatch to send it to store. If you wanted to get from store, you have to use something called use selector. Use selector. So if I wanted to send it to store, I have to use dispatch hook. If I wanted to receive from store, I have to use selector hook. Now from D, I wanted to pass it to N. D has to use dispatch. N has to use selector. Use dispatch is send it to store. Use selector is receive from store. Use state is a hook. Use ref is a hook. Use effect is a hook. In the same way, use dispatch is also a hook. Use selector is also. Use dispatch is useful to send to store. Use selector is useful to receive from store. Got it? Now, if I go a bit to detail into it, I will compare store. With the deity in the temple. The god in temple, god. I can compare store with the deity or idol in the temple. Yes, Monica, do you have any questions?
So it's not visible properly. Screen is not visible properly.
What about others? Check it. Vishal? Fine. I think Monica, please check your internet speed. Probably it will happen like that. Let me check my internet speed. I have decent connection. So please check your internet speed. Probably that might be the problem. Yes, Monica.
Yes, sir. I will check it out, sir.
So store is like deity in temple. Store is like the deity in the temple. If I wanted to offer flowers to God, can I directly go into Garbhagudi and offer that? Or if I want some flowers from God, can I go and take it? It should happen through Pujari, priest. So, whatever I wanted to give to God, I don't give directly. Through Pujari or through priest, I'll give. Whatever I wanted to get it through God, from that he will be getting. Understanding what I'm saying? Here, story is like God. We have something called reducer. What? Reducer is nothing but a function actually. It's nothing but a function. We have this reducer function. This is like priest. This is like priest. Whatever you wanted to do, whether you wanted to add to store or you wanted to get from store, not directly through this reducer. Through this reducer only this reducer has a direct access to store. And this use select, use reduce dispatch is for sending to store, right? Use dispatch is for sending to store only, but with the help of reducer. With the help of reducer. Use selector is getting something from store, but not directly with the help of reducer. I am calling it as a store, but it is a JavaScript object. I am calling it as a reducer function. It is a JavaScript function. Understanding what I am saying? So now imagine you want you are going to your 10th exams. First day of the exam. Suddenly during the time of exams, we love our God a lot. You go to the temple, dear God, dear Pujari, whatever the highest offering you have, please do that puja, and you give your hall ticket to Pujari, priest. He will take that hall ticket and perform some puja and give it. It's not like you go enter into the Garbhagudi and do it. Exactly. So here God is like store, Pujari is like a reducer function. Giving it to Pujari is dispatch, use dispatch. Getting it from Pujari is select. Got a point? Any component wanted to send something to another component through use dispatch, send it to store via reducer function. Any component wanted to get from store, use selector, get from store via reducer function. Without reducer function, you cannot touch store. There are some procedures you have to follow. That's what I said. If you join in a company, you have to follow the rules of that company. If you wanted to use Redux, you have to follow that rules. What are the rules? First, create a store. But store is not touchable directly. Create a reducer link to store. And whatever you wanted to send it to using use dispatch. Getting use select. Got a point? Complicated? Now we'll be going a bit to detail into it. Can I say that ideal or deity is a rock? It's a rock only. But they have performed certain pujas, make it as idol. It is idol of deity. It's not like you find the rock, they have sculpted it and put it and do perform pujas. No. There are so many processes there. They will dig the hole, they will put all the navadanyas or panchalohas, all the 5 gold, silver, iron, panchalohas, they will perform some special pujaris will come, they will perform special pujas, then it is treated as a deity. Got a point. Here also the same thing. It's a normal object only, but you wanted to make that as a store, some procedures we have. Some procedures we have to do it. Then only a normal simple object becomes store. By performing separate pujas, we are making a rock to God. The same way, by following certain procedures, we will make a JavaScript object to store. JavaScript object to store. So what we have to do? We have to create an object first, then convert that to store. You have to create function first, convert that into reducer. So reducer and store both are linked. Then use dispatch for sending to reducer. You selector from getting from reducer. Reducer is getting connecting to. Understood the concept? Why are we doing like this? Why are we doing like this? To simplify the data passing between. Simplify the data passing between. Now, I'll give you an example. For our office, we want a suggestions box. Not suggestion. We have a suggestion box, but unfortunately, no one is using it. So we want suggestion box. So I have searched a lot, 10 shops, 15 shops. I have searched in each and every shop. No one has that suggestion box. Then I don't know what to do. Then one fine day, why I have to think of so much? Why don't I search it in Amazon? In Amazon, I go there, search it. The suggestion box, it is showing it. In 2 days, it is delivered. Got a point? If I want suggestion box, I could have searched under 15, but that is more time-taking process. This is simplified. I get whatever I want. Here also, this is a simplified process. Setting up may take time. Creating the object, converting into store. Creating the function, converting into reducer. Linking the store and reducer may take time. Once that setup is done, easy. I'll give you an example. Long ago means probably imagine 40 years back. 40 years back. 40, 50 years back means number of children per house is more. Then family means 10 people, 12 people. What is the size of entire family? No, normal. The entire family and its kids. 8 sons, 4 daughters, husband and wife. 14. Now maximum is 4. This generation is 4. Then it is 14. 14 is there. How many children are there for Lalu Prasad Yadav? 12 people. You just check your grandfathers or great grandfathers. 8 people, 9 people, 7 people used to be there. Okay. During those days, I'm giving an example. During summer, imagine, I'm giving an example. 6 daughters, 4 sons, father and mother, total 12 people. All are getting married. All are married, for example. During summer holidays, those 6 daughters will go to their mother's house. So, father, mother, and 6 daughters. And the daughters won't come. Their kids also will come. Grandmom's home. So each one around 3, then 6 3s are 18. So around 25 people will be there. So 25 people has to bath every day. 25 people has to eat food every day. Now imagine, let us take bathing. 25 people has to bath means usually earlier what was the procedure? For every house one well used to be there. well used to be there. Then people used to collect all the water from buckets and put it into drum. And from drum, people used to use it because children wanted to bath, or they will not take them to near to the well because of safety. So around 25 people has to bath means how much water they need. So much of water they need. So for 4 people, the drum becomes empty. Then again, your grandmom has to come and collect all the water and fill it. Again, after 4 people, again it becomes empty, like that. So kids consume more water because they wanted to enjoy it. So it is becoming difficult for your grandmom to fill that. So what your grandfather does, your grandfather sees, okay, grandmother is, like his wife is facing difficulty. He may spend 3 to 4 days extra time for setting up the pipes into the well, electricity and motor setup. Once the motor setup is done, what happens? You wanted to fill the drum, press the button. In 5 minutes, the drum will be full, switch off. Then people have again drum is empty. Then press the button, drum will be full. Then have. Which is easier? Second approach. But setup takes time. Even though the second approach is effective, setup takes time. Once the setup is done, life will be easier. Exactly the same thing. Without motor is like passing data between components is complicated activity. With motor is like Redux, it's easy activity. Setup takes time. Once that setup is done, everything will be easier. Just use dispatch and use select. Any level of component, use dispatch. Any level of component, use select. That's it. Got it? Clear? Complicated? Yes. Now we'll be going a bit more detail into it. Now, what I have to do, I have to create an object, a JavaScript object. I have to convert that into store. Once I convert this into store, what I have to do, I have to make this store accessible by anywhere within the application. 10 level low also, that store should be accessible through use selector. Any component, any level, this store should be accessible. For that, we have to follow certain procedures. And what are those procedures? It is creating the object, creating the store. We will write it in index.js file. Write it in index.js file. Why we write it in index.js file? In index.js only app will be there, right? Sir, in index.js only app will be there. Now, if I open this React project, any React project, for example, if I go to src index.js, index.js only app is there. If I create that object, convert that into store and gives it to here, it is accessible to any component within the app. Any component within the app. So creating the object, converting to store, reducer, everything we write it in index.js. So for index.js is something we haven't touched. But now time has come to touch it. Now it's like this. App.js, inside this A, inside this B, inside this C. If I create that store in C, the child can access it, not the parents. Not the parents. That's why what I will do, even index.js is part of index.js, app.js is part of index.js, right? Here I will create the store, can be accessible all the child classes and anywhere. Got a point? Complicated? Clear? We have to do the setup. Setup takes time. The first 3 times. After that, in 5 minutes you can do this. Once you understand. First I have to create an object. Where I have to create an object? Index.js. Then convert that into store. Then make it accessible to app. If you make it accessible to app, everywhere within the child, it is accessible. No problem. That is how we have to do it. Now we have to create reducer also. It's not like store is somewhere, reducer is somewhere. God is here. Where will be Pujari? He will be there also. Yes, sir. Exactly. Understanding? What is the core purpose of Redux? Simplifying data passing between components. Simplifying data passing between components. Now we have worked on use location, use selector. Remember? Use navigation, use selector. Sir, remember? Now it's like this. For example, A is a page, B is a page, C is a page, D is a page, E is a page. Now I wanted to pass from A to E. Now how do I do that? Use navigate, I have to come to this, then pass to this, then come to this, then come to this. Then here I have to use the use location. So many things I have to pass it. Now if I use Redux directly like this. Now have you heard about something called direct benefit transfer? You heard about it? I'm giving an example. If some floods happened, that fields has affected. Some loss came to farmers. Now they are in grief. Now central government has announced that don't worry, we'll be giving you some money. So again, try for new crops. For every farmer, they have assigned around 1 lakh rupees, for example, from central government. From central government, it passes to finance department. Finance department to state government. State government to collector. Collector to revenue officer. Revenue officer to mandal officer. Mandal officer to that farmer. Giving an example. So many things has to pass. So if they release 1 lakh, they will get not even 10,000. They'll get not even 10,000. This was happening earlier. Now what the government has done, they said Aadhaar card, bank account. Now central government, farmer. In between who will be there? Bank. They will send it to central government to bank, bank to farmer. Not even a single rupee deducted. 1 lakh means 1 lakh. This is store. This is Redux only. This is Redux only. Bank is called as store. Whoever wanted to send it to bank. Whoever wanted to receive from bank. Yes or no? Here also the same thing. See, now I wanted to transfer 5,000 to Pranit. I will send it to Pranit through bank only. I will send it to bank. He will receive from bank. So a bank behaves like a store, but the setup needs to be done. UPI account you have to create, PhonePe you have to install, link, then everything is ready. Got a point? Now what we will do in our next session, this is the theory. In our next session we will start executing. How to create an object, how to convert it to store, how to create a function, how to convert it to Redux, and how to make that accessible throughout the app, and how to dispatch, how to receive, select them. That we will be doing in our next session. Understand what is the concept, what is the purpose of Redux? Yes. Simplifying the data passing between any component to any component. Any component to any component. That's very easier. You have to understand that. That too, I'll explain you in detail. You understand the concept. If you understand the concept, syntax is not a big deal. You can ask Baba or anything. He will tell you. But concept is very simplifying. Whoever want any component wanted to send it to store through dispatch. Whoever wanted to receive from store using select. That's it. Okay. Again, store is something which is untouchable. It's not touchable directly. Everything should happen through Redux. Store is a god. Store is a god. Reducer is a puja or a priest. And the components are like devotees. Devotees sending to God through puja. Got my point? Clear? So, Redux is a third-party library, and like Redux, there is one more is that called Flux. This Flux is from Facebook only. Flux is from Facebook only, but the market is using this Redux. Market is using the Redux. See, it's like this. Google has YouTube for videos, Gmail for emails, but they have something called Google Plus for social networking. Some, but still people use Facebook or Instagram only, not Google. Exactly, even the Facebook has Flux to pass data between the components easily, but market is adopted and used. Okay, we'll be discussing today. We have covered the theory part. In our next session, we'll be discussing how to implement it. We have to install packages called Redux and React Redux. Once you install these packages, then you can import it and you can create store. All those things can be done. We'll be working on it. Vishal, do you have any questions?
Sir, but you told that you will check my task once.
Have you submitted the task?
Yes, sir. Means it was I think 5 days. 5 days. 5 days.
Any issue you are facing?
Yes, sir. The issue is like in try catch block. Whenever I am using response.json, it is showing errors, and I also showing app got crashed.
MongoDB or MySQL?
MongoDB, sir.
Compass or Compass?
Compass.
Which one?
MongoDB validation, sir.
Validation.
Yes, sir.
Sure. When are you getting the error?
Sir, whenever I'm using console.log requested body, it is showing it is not defined, sir. In a try catch blocks.
What is this actually?
What, sir?
What is this? Now you are converting into JSON and send.
Yes,
What
sir.
will be the value of that body? It's an object, right? Request dot
Yes,
body.
sir. Yes, sir.
So you are getting error while inserting.
No, sir, and I'm also getting error while in the first line itself, sir. And at the first line, where I've used a requested body.
Whenever the application runs, it is getting error.
No, sir, it's not getting error, but it is not means it is not showing that data got saved in Compass, sir. It means whenever I'm giving details from client side, it is not getting showed in
So you
Compass.
wanted to fill the form and pass it to middleware. Middleware has to store it in MongoDB Compass. That's what you are trying. In that
Yes, sir.
process, you are
Yes, sir.
connected to MongoDB. Client is the name of the database. What might be the problem? click on next, is it saving into the, it is passing it into the database?
No, sir.
No, you are saying it is unable to send to database.
Yes, sir.
When you are sending, on click of the button or on click of this button only, right?
Yes, sir. Next on click of next button, sir.
Okay. What I am doing, form data you are using it. Data to send request option. Body. Client details. Here you are coming to this client details. Okay. It is saying unable to save. Okay. Let us see what is the error we are getting. We are getting error. Let us see what. Cannot read properties or name. Well, are we coming into this?
Yes, sir. I'm coming in.
Okay, you are getting the response. What I will do. Are you using this response anywhere in the client side? Other than
No,
this?
sir. No, sir.
Okay. Then I'm just printing request dot body. Saying undefined.
Yes, sir.
Request dot body is undefined because you are sending form data. Where are you using multer? Where are you using multer?
Means I have to use app.use multer. That statement.
You have to.
It means I have to use the statement app.use multer.
No, naturally, because you are sending through form data.
Yes.
If you are sending through form data, you have to use multer, no?
Yes.
So you are not sending any file. So what you have to do, you have to say dot none here.
Okay.
So we have created something called what you say disk storage. Remember uploads. In middleware, I am clicking on multer. In multer, what I will do, I am using the disk storage. I am using disk storage. Without a disk storage also you can do, but I am using disk storage, so the reason is I can control the name. Now I'll say here upload. So because you are not submitting anything, you have to say upload. You are not sending any files. So upload dot none. You are setting it. Now let us see. I should get request dot body. And here we are actually getting the error. Let us see whether we have received it or invalid status. Okay. First of all, we are getting the data. Here we are getting the data. Then what you are doing, your invalid status code nan, of course. Now the error is coming because age has to be number, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Age has to be number. Now from there you are sending string, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to convert that into number.
Okay.
And whatever you give in input will be things on. Even if I see the everything within quotes, that means now I have converted that into number. Gender, what you have done, I have to see. Where have you created this schema?
Down, sir.
Schema type string, the required minimum length, maximum length, age number required. Okay. Gender must be male, female. Then admin status must be singular, married. Then I have must pass exact values. Then I'll say name, Vishal. Age will be 20. Gender, male. Marital status, single. Okay, next. One second. Invalid status code. Once you get it, I'm trying to say. Why are you setting like this to client? You are adding object plus string. Listen must be either object and array. Yes or no?
Yes.
So avoid the client input mini and how does it? Now I have printed this line. Now let us again I have to fill up. I think coming that means it's saved problem. This is the problem.
Okay.
You are adding object and string, which is not a object or array, but it is unable to add both. It is unable to add. That's the problem. Two problems. First thing, you are sending form data, you must use multiple. So you are not getting the data what you are sending. Second thing, is line number 37. Now the database name is client. I should be able to see it if I connect it to it. Client, then the client info. Got it, Vishal?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Our guess was right only. First I have seen this, right? Remember?
Yes, sir.
Culprit.
Sir, it means the responder.json should be either an object or a string.
If you wanted to combine both, put it into an object and send. Don't add like this.
Okay, sir.
See, you can add, if you wanted to send response.json, say data, request, body. comma message taken from you. Like this you said.
Okay.
Both are part of the object sending keys and values.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Let me I'll be just creating theory task only because I haven't shown you anything in the Redux and system. Just create only theory task. Let me create